Sophie Cunningham got elbowed in the face, she somehow was called for the foul. Let me get this straight. Sophie Cunningham can get elbowed in the face, yet she's the one.
The WNBA is facing another major controversy, and this time the spotlight is on a heated sequence involving Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and a controversial officiating decision that has fans talking. What happened on the court quickly became much bigger than one foul. Fans immediately began debating whether the officials made the right call, while others argued that the play was simply the result of a physical basketball game. But once Sophie Cunningham became involved, the situation took on an entirely different level of intensity. The controversy didn't stay inside the arena either. Social media exploded, and Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy also reacted to the sequence, criticizing what he believed was inconsistent officiating and questioning the decision involving Cunningham. So, what exactly happened? Let's go back to the sequence that started the debate. The game was physical from the opening minutes. Indiana was dealing with aggressive defensive pressure, and Sophie Cunningham once again played the role of one of the Fever's most physical competitors. Cunningham has built a reputation for competing hard, protecting her teammates, and never backing away from contact. Then came the play that changed everything. During a transition sequence, Cunningham became involved in a physical exchange with an opposing player. The officials immediately stopped play and reviewed the incident. After the review, Cunningham was assessed a foul and ultimately removed from the game. That decision immediately stunned many fans. Some believed the contact deserved a foul but questioned whether the punishment was severe enough to justify an ejection. Others argued that the officials were simply applying the rules after reviewing the play. The debate became even louder because of the reaction from Cunningham herself. As she headed away from the court, the emotional atmosphere around the Fever bench was obvious. According to reports and fan accounts, Caitlin Clark was visibly upset about the decision and appeared to support her teammate.
Let's just take a look and see what Dave Portnoy had to say, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Sophie just got 17 of her teeth knocked out, and they called her for the foul. He says, sick league. Let's take a look.
How about our WNBA refs? This is just a defensive foul. Thank you for the review. Just a defensive foul. No hostile act, just a foul on Sophie Cunningham. They call that a foul on Sophie Cunningham. She's got 14 of her teeth on the ground. That's a defensive foul. And they reviewed it for a hostile act. Yeah, Sophie's saying, hey, I just got my jaw broke. Is this a political stance? You just took 14 of my teeth, yeah, quiet, Sophie, no big deal. A defensive foul.
That moment quickly became one of the most discussed images from the game. Clark has faced plenty of physical play and controversial officiating throughout her professional career, but she has generally tried to keep her public comments focused on basketball. Seeing her involved in such an emotional moment only added more fuel to the story. Fans immediately began asking whether the Fever felt that Cunningham had been treated unfairly. And then Dave Portnoy entered the conversation. Portnoy publicly criticized the officiating and questioned the decision involving Cunningham. His comments quickly spread across social media, with supporters agreeing that the officials had made a questionable call while others argued that his reaction was simply part of the ongoing debate surrounding WNBA officiating. Portnoy also pointed toward what he viewed as a larger problem: consistency. His argument was that if similar contact is being treated differently from play to play, players and fans are naturally going to question the officiating. That criticism touched on an issue that has followed the WNBA for years: officiating. Every professional sports league deals with controversial calls, but the WNBA receives enormous attention whenever those decisions involve some of its most recognizable stars. Caitlin Clark is one of the most watched players in the sport, meaning almost every physical play involving her teammates or opponents can become...
Speaking of podcasts, one that I passed on, which I thought was going to happen, just went live. Sophie Cunningham, Wes Wilson.
She asked you to do it with her?
we spent a lot of time. They did a test podcast, these two, in our New York office. Then we had another host, and it wasn't so much her. Anytime I have to deal with agents, it's hard. I really thought we would be carrying so much of the weight, marketing, all this shit, and her focus wasn't going to be the podcast. It was just one amongst 9,000 things she was doing, and so it felt like we were getting screwed. So at the end, like, we were ready to sign it, and at the end I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. So now I like her, but I'm kind of rooting against
Clark immediately
a national
confronted
conversation within minutes. That level of attention creates enormous pressure on officials. One controversial whistle can dominate an entire post-game discussion. One review can become a viral clip, and one ejection can completely change the narrative surrounding a game. That's exactly what happened here. As fans continued debating Cunningham's ejection, attention also shifted toward Kelsey Mitchell. Commentators pointed to another physical sequence involving Mitchell and questioned whether certain plays throughout the game were being officiated consistently. Some argued that Mitchell's reaction showed how serious the contact felt from the player's perspective. Others believed the incident was simply another example of the physical nature of professional basketball. Without knowing the officials' full reasoning beyond the calls that were announced, it's impossible to say that every controversial decision was
officiating.
intentional.
I kind of get it. It's a natural Let's just say I'm not going to argue this. I've seen enough players try to be fancy, kicking their feet out, making things look cool. Terrible timing. Okay, I can chalk it up to terrible timing. Fine. We'll chalk it up to terrible timing. But if we look before that, look at this. So Kelsey Mitchell. Does Kelsey Mitchell flop? There's a lot of things you can say about Kelsey Mitchell's game, right? She's selfish. She dribbles too much. Whatever. Does Kelsey Mitchell flop? Does Kelsey Mitchell ever exaggerate calls? Does Kelsey Mitchell ever embellish? You can accuse her of a lot of things, but those are not one of them. So Kelsey Mitchell is just going to act like she got hit in the face just to act like she got hit in the face, right? Kelsey Mitchell's going to act like she got hit in the face and quit on the play just to act like she got hit on the face and try to sell a call. Which Kelsey Mitchell doesn't do. And then we got this kicking the feet out. I mean, it just doesn't look good. Again, I'm not going to accuse this of being intentional because I don't feel like I have as much of a leg to stand on because I've seen this before. Unnecessary, yes. Intentional, I'm not going to make that argument. But this right here, slapping Kelsey Mitchell in the face, somebody like Kelsey Mitchell reacting like that, who never flops, who doesn't try to sell calls, who you knock down 20 times, she gets up 21 times. Yeah, I'm not going to put that on Kelsey Mitchell's jacket. And this Sophie Cunningham play of her getting elbowed.
the WNBA is
biased. And that's an important distinction. There is a difference between criticizing an officiating decision and claiming that officials deliberately targeted a particular player or team. The former can be debated using the footage. The latter requires evidence. That's why the Cunningham incident has generated so much discussion. Fans can watch the replay and form their own opinions about whether the contact deserved a foul, whether the review is handled correctly, and whether the final
Isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious that Dan Dockich is not lying about the information he's getting from within this organization as they refuse to address it? Dan Dockich doubled down on everything he said right here in this. He took the X. Yo, G, damn it, hold on. Steph White is calling. Gotta go to work, keep hating, keep stalking. So he's taking shots at the people that have been addressing him, adding on to the smear campaign that's going on against Caitlin Clark. It's ridiculous, but the fact of the matter is you can't blame Dan Dockich. You can't blame him. He's not lying about where he's getting the information from, which is why the Indiana Fever is so hush and damn quiet about it. He's not lying. None of them are going to come out and call him a liar. None of them have stepped up to the plate to address the smear campaign that's being launched at Caitlin Clark. She's being targeted. They're not saying anything because it's coming from them. They've gone on to address everything else, whether it's people coming at them for the draft. Lynn Dunn went and called us all complainers. Stephanie White addressing the fans saying, hey, these games are boring as hell now. These games are boring. The product stinks now. You've come over here and ruined the product. The games are entertaining. She addressed that in last game's pregame podium. They've addressed everything. The Indiana Fever's Twitter handle or X handle put a post up after last game saying, are you not entertained? They've been addressing everything publicly but this, because they are in on it. Make no mistake about that. Make no mistake about that at all. And then Stephanie White, shout out to Mick Talks Hoops. He said, shout out to Steph White for going on the same radio show, which essentially aired a Caitlin Clark hit piece last week. Stephanie White went on the same radio show, Query and Company, as she often does. And these are the people who essentially also played a large part in the Caitlin Clark hit piece last week.
When Caitlin Clark hit that shot the other night in Washington, I'm not going to say we shall be free, that it was this like lifting in that regard, but she said afterwards that, and I'm paraphrasing, that it just kind of helped break through some of the noise. Is that a fair statement? Was there stuff swirling around that it was good to just break through that?
I mean, I think anytime you're able to come away with a win on the road, and especially in our league, it's always good. You know, we've had our moments where we haven't done as good a job as we're capable of in playing with a lead. You know, it was another one of those moments at times in that ball game. You know, but I always feel good about ourselves when we get to end of game situations. I think that our team does a great job of executing in those moments. You know, for C in particular, to be able to find herself that open. You know she's going to step up and knock it down, and it was a big time shot. It was a hell of a pass by Sophie,
Was this the worst ejection?
And every statement from a player or coach can become a headline. That environment makes moments like the Cunningham incident much bigger than they might have been a few years ago. It also explains why Clark's reaction attracted so much attention. Whether she was simply supporting her teammate or expressing frustration with the officiating, fans immediately